Hello and welcome back to another episode of Slabbing these rocks that I found out in West Texas. A few weeks ago I went out to the Terlingua area, the Big Bend section of Texas, got down near the Rio Grande River and picked up a bunch of rocks. Now I've got them back in Austin, I'm slabbing them and finding some really cool things. So let's start this episode with this rock. What is this? I have no idea. I just remember when I saw it, it looked interesting, you know? Anytime I see stripes and patterns like this, it makes me think this could be something cool. Look at some of the lines through there. What do you think? Let's go ahead and get this in the shop. Probably cut it like this. See what it looks like on the inside. The rock has been slabbed. Let's see, was this a good one? Let's check out this end cap first. Ooh, I like that. That's interesting looking. I know, not a lot of color, but the design, the pattern. Let's see this first full slab. Wow, that's an interesting stone. Look at the geological record that's showing us. Really cool. Like that little spot right there. Let's see this last one. You know what? I think this is a good looking stone. It's not quite a picture jasper, but you can kind of imagine sort of a scene in there if you use your imagination. So if I could make a cabochon out of this and it would take a good shine, I think this is a winner of a stone. What do you think? Pretty interesting. So this rock I thought I was just going to tumble, but it's large enough where I think we can slab it. It doesn't look like much, but yet if you look closely, you see these lines running through it here, up there. This could be really cool, right? So let's get a few slabs off this here. We'll just cut them like that. And see what this looks like on the inside. I've made a couple of slabs out of this stone. Is it going to be interesting on the inside? Let's look at this first end piece and, well, dark and not too exciting. Let's see this first slab. Anything good in here? Well, you know, it has a bit of a pattern. I like that, I suppose. It's not great, it's not dramatic, but it's kind of interesting. Let's see this last one. Well, you know, it has those little sprays right there. If this takes a good shine, ooh, that's messy. Gotta get that wet. This could still be a good stone. It's just not that interesting looking. You know, you can see this has no oil on it. This is what it looks like dry with just the saw marks on it. So, yeah, I'd say an average rock here. For our next rock, how about this chunk of petrified wood? Look at this beauty. It's nice and dark. I like that. Look at the wood grain in there. Isn't that beautiful? So for this one, let's get a few slabs along this plane, which will be perpendicular to the grain. See what that looks like. Okay, this dark piece of petrified wood has been slabbed. Let's take a look here. These two end pieces, what do they show us? Well, not a whole lot. There's a little pattern there. Heck, this is too small to do anything with. This one I can probably throw in the tumbler, but let's skip that. Let's look at the first full slab here. What does this look like? Wow, I do like the pattern right through there. I think that's beautiful. I don't know why I had this big saw mark right there. It must have shifted on me slightly when it was cutting. And finally, this last slab. Let's see what this looks like. It's dark and it's pretty interesting. I do like petrified wood, but this one is, well, as petrified wood goes, just sort of average looking, I guess. I'll bet you though it will still take a great shine if it gets turned into a cabochon. Yeah, I do like this area down here. There's plenty to see there. Yeah, what can you say? It's petrified wood. And then we have this big guy here. Look at this. Don't know what it is. Kind of has a jasper look to it. When I get it wet, I can see that it does have lots of color in it. And that excites me. What will this look like once it gets cut open? I have no idea. Could be a dud. Let's find out. Let's get this in the shop and get some slabs. This big guy has been slabbed. Let's see, what does it look like? Well, these little end pieces here, this one especially, a lot of this boring looking tan, whatever, not too much a fan of that. This was the first full slab, which, as you can see, had a fracture and broke. Again, I don't care for this tan stuff, but here we're getting into a little bit of, well, this reddish material that's interesting in there. I like that. I could probably do something with that. Let's see. Okay, see, now we're getting into more of this red stuff. Yeah, this down here to me is pretty useless. It's not very attractive, but this looks good here. Oh, now we're getting more of it. Look at that. Okay, I made an extra slab of this because I wanted to get into more of this stuff here. Quite a bit of fracturing in here. I bet I could just snap this one in two right now. As you can see, we're getting more and more of this red stuff though, so to my eye, it gets more interesting. And I don't mind so much this lighter color stuff. This color here, this neutral looking beige color, that just doesn't do it for me. So were I to keep slabbing, I think I could get into some more good stuff there. Yeah, in fact, look at this. I should have just avoided this whole area here. Now that you see it with the oil coating on it, clearly there's just this one bad area. The rest of the rock's probably okay, albeit filled with little fractures. So this one could still show some promise. We'll see. When I found this rock, I was sure it was an agate. I could see some, well, agatiness right in here. When you get it wet especially, you can see it. Once I got it home and got it cleaned up though, I realized that it's probably mostly just maybe a jasper? And that this stuff here is probably only on the very end. Well, let's find out. Let's get this piece in the shop and get some slabs off of it. The slabbing's finished with this one. I tried to cut through the area that looked interesting to me. Let's see how these turned out. This first little end cap here. Ooh, look at that. That's really interesting looking. Lots of cool pattern in that and some interesting color, and I especially like this white stuff up here. Let's look at that first full slab. Yeah, I like that, you know. It's clearly got some fractures. I bet I could, well, if I tried really hard, I could break that. But I do like the way this looks in here. This is probably some kind of jasper. That's interesting looking though, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Well, I probably am, but it's a different story. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting looking slab, something that I think could be made into a really cool looking cabochon. I like how this is sort of stacked here and it looks almost bluish with that sort of brownish color. And then this is what's left. Yeah, interesting, right? And finally, there's this rock. I found a few of these like this that I call quartzy agate rocks. You can see that obviously it has quartz, but you can also see what looks like maybe some banding in there. Check that out. Now I've cut I think 3 of these, and 2 of the 3 turned out to be really cool. One of them was just so-so. What will this one be? I don't know. You see it's got this weird brown stuff on the end here. Let's find out. Let's get this quartzy agate rock in the shop and get it cut. The last rock has been slabbed. Did we get a winner? As you can see, I didn't really get into this quartzy area here. I'm telling you that now because I think this rock still has potential. Let me show you what I mean. This first little end cut was like, just white, not very interesting. And then I got the first full slab. Once again, not very interesting. Got the second slab. Maybe a little interesting. I like this darker area in here. Decided to make another slab. Here you can see getting into that area where that quartz is over here. Might be more interesting. Right there and there. So I could see if I keep cutting into this rock, it might be okay, but these slabs that I got off it are just not very interesting. So this one is, it still has some potential, but as it stands, the slabs I got just aren't that great. Okay, there you go. It's this week's batch of these rocks I found in West Texas, all slabbed. Let's go ahead and do the grading. I feel like this week is not going to be a great week. So this first rock I do like. I like the pattern in that. I think it's interesting. I can imagine making a cabochon. It almost reminds me of like Bruno jasper, right? It's very smooth, so I think this would take a great shine. So I'm going to give this one a, we'll say a B minus. And then we jumped on, was it this one? Yes, I think it was this one. Interesting looking, but very dark. So there are some patterns in there that might look great all polished up, but it's not very much contrast, so it doesn't really stand out. So I'll give this one a C. Then I think it was the petrified wood maybe. As petrified wood goes, this one's just so-so, right? It does have some patterning over here that's interesting, but the rest of it's just rather plain. So let's just say a C for this one as well. Then I think we jumped on this one. Yeah, this one was a bit of a disaster. You can see it's very fractured, and it had a lot of this stuff here that I cut into. The red stuff isn't so bad though, minus all those fractures. I bet I could just snap this piece. Let's try it here. Oh, yeah, there you go. Never good to be able to do that to your slab because your cabs aren't going to do so well. Then we did this piece here. Now this I like. It's interesting. Those contrasts in there and those colors. I like this white up here. Very fractured. Let's see, can we break this one? Nope, not very easily. So this one I'll give this a B minus. And then finally this one, this quartzy agate rock. Of all four now that I have slabbed from my trip, this one maybe is the third best. And it could get better if I were to continue cutting into this area here. It looked like it might have some potential. But the end of the eye slab just wasn't very good. So from what I can see, I would only give it say a C minus. But I should really give it an incomplete grade because I think this one would be okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I know these slabbing videos normally turn out a little bit better than this one. I guess I just picked some duds this week. Although they're not horrible, right? And a couple of them are decent, so we had no home runs, but we had some okay looking rocks that will probably make beautiful cabochons. Please remember to check my other videos for more like this, hopefully better ones like this. Thanks again for watching.